Peggy Ertmer started her career working in special education as a teacher and diagnostician. Although her later scholarly work does not seem to directly address disability, it is notable, as we will see later, that some of the work did play a role in the development of universal design for learning. Ertmer received her Ph.D. from Purdue University, where she worked with Timothy Newby, a colleague that, as we will see, she continued to collaborate with after she received her Ph.D. Once Ertmer got to Purdue, she never really left, although she did adjunct at Boise State for a period in addition to her Purdue job. Those of us who are Ph.D. students should be so lucky. As I mentioned, she has collaborated a lot with Timothy Newby. The fact that she continued this collaboration past her doctoral program is intriguing, and perhaps also suggests some influence from Newby as well, which it might be important to acknowledge. Ertmer is a prolific publisher. She has authored 87 journal articles, in addition other publications such as conference proceedings, instructional guides, and so on. These articles have been influential in the instructional design world. Ertmer's work has 3 themes which I will talk about in more detail in a later slide. For now, I will describe the 3 major themes, while also discussing some representative publications. The first paper I will discuss is her most cited paper. It is on the role of teacher beliefs and technology integration. It is suggesting that previous experiences form the basis of whether a teacher will come to accept or reject a technology. The second paper should look familiar to us in the instructional design class, because we have already read it. As you may recall, the focus of that paper was on the roles of behaviorism, cognitivism, and constructivism in learning, and what role each theory should play in the instructional design process. The paper does not suggest that any one theory is better than the other, but rather that instructional designers should weigh each when designing. Finally, the third theme is expert learning and self-regulation. This is an important theme as Ertmer focuses on some of the metacognitive processes learners can take to be expert learners. For instance, learners need to have goals, be self-directed, and be self-regulated. Ertmer's work has 3 broad implications. First, teacher beliefs are really important to how they accept technology that could be used in the classroom. Acceptance is basically related to attitude and past experiences. As teachers consider technology, it is very important to consider their prior experiences. From what are they drawing from in terms of previous experience, culture, and so on. Learning theory design is really important to instructional designers. In this class, we have already read one of her papers where she and Newby address the importance of learning theory on how instructional designers work and how well instruction can be designed. This is one of her major papers. This paper was insistent on the idea that learning theory is something that absolutely needs to be considered during the design process. Ertmer and Newby's work makes it clear that good instructional design derives from learning theory. The article does not necessarily recommend one over the other, but instead asks that learning designers consider the benefits and weaknesses of each theory with respect to what they are instructing. Another very important implication of Ertmer's work is her work on self-regulation and expert learning. For instance, some of us are interested in universal design for learning. Ertmer's work with newbie on expert learning essentially formed the basis for adult. Expert learning says that learners ought to have goals, be self-regulated, and reflective.
Thanks for listening.